All right, so back to this. Don't really got much else to say, right? I mean, feels like we're wrapping up the game. We're in this like flashback portion, right? First off, still haven't uploaded that black screen. I'll get to it at some point. But again, we're at this point in the game where, again, you know, we've gone through all these flashbacks, right? I don't exactly know which one we're at now, but again, we've this has been a decent chunk of the game, right? And I'm thinking it's gonna go. We go after this, get back to the present. It'll be Ashley and the demon, and basically we'll choose as Ashley probably between. And it's intriguing because most of this portion, and again, I have a few because the black screen I made, it was kind of my overall thoughts on chapter three, right? And kind of overall thoughts like on kind of the game as a whole, on the direction of the story as well as the development of the characters. There are some specific black screen videos I want to make, right? Which I will at some point. I have a few ideas. One of them is an update video on whether or not, Andrew and Ashley were redeemable, right? Another one that I think is interesting that I just thought of is we rarely, if at all, ever get Soul Ashley POVs. So kind of what a game through her perspective would kind of look like, right? Not necessarily portraying her as like a victim, right? But more so just like, again, kind of her mindset or mentality, right? So again, it's that's another thing, right? And then, maybe what if like Andrew chose like I'm thinking because this is kind of almost getting to like Amori territory levels of black screen videos I can do, right? Not, not to the same extent of MLB, right? But like I'm thinking with again, because like this game, and this is kind of what I said in that black screen that's it to be uploaded, but will be at some point, on my overall thoughts, is that they really actually delved into the story and the characters more specifically, right? So I mean, we're about to get this interaction between Andrew and Julia, right? And again, I talk about how, and I hate that I keep making Amori comparisons. The main kind of factor or main thing in Amori is it's really a tragedy of what could have been, right? I think I don't want to say this is a same, it's in a very similar light, not the same, right? Because Amori, it's more so just what if Marihan died? That's the tragedy of what could have been, you know spoiler if I just spoiled the entire game for you. This is more so this is probably the big question of, could it have turned out normal, right? Kind of, and I again, or maybe I'll do a video. What if they hand killed Nina, right? And who knows, right? But I do think there are some black screen videos they can make, right? It's just, we'll need to get to that point, right? So let's talk with Julia. All right, he's about to just absolutely destroy her, isn't he? You really got to feel like Julia just caught feel like, you know, because this is gonna make me sound like an incel, right? But it's like, you should be conscious of who you catch feelings for, right? Let's not beat around the bush here, right? You know, it sucks, right? But someone like Julia catching feelings for someone like Andrew, right? Knowing Ashley, but then even like again, probably seeing past red flags in Andrew, right? It sucks, but it's like that's where, you kind of need like and it sucks because like she's probably, not as confident, right? Again, like we saw she kind of acted around him. So that's why it's like you really got to feel for her because like I mean, you know, this is like, well, I'll say from like obviously a guy's perspective, you see a lot of this, except it's just the other way around, right? But obviously this time, it's just her getting crushed, and then it's mostly due to Ashley, right? But then Andrew himself is, I mean, let's see what he's about to say. I feel like with her getting cut off, he's about to just absolutely destroy her in this, like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Hold on. Andrew's like, what the hell is that? I don't remember this. Yeah, all right, that kind of completely caught me off guard, you know. Yeah, get rid of these stupid fucking flowers, you know. Yeah, getting drugged by good old Ashley, right? You know. I'm not gonna lie. That actually really fucking caught me off guard. Hello? Dude. Oh, there was one down here. I didn't even notice that. Damn, that's crazy, you know. Holy fuck, where are we? You know? And get rid of all these stupid fucking flowers. Oh, I'm stupid. Hello? Vision? Really? Wait, what? Am I stupid? Where? Oh, I'm supposed to go up this way, right? How did that get a vision? Whatever. Yeah, what happened to the house? Damn, the house, we exist in what would you call it? Non-Euclidean space. Well, I guess this isn't necessarily non-Euclidean. Um, Give me that key. And then what's in oh, I guess we gotta go back, Yeah. Oh, it's the actual Julia, seemingly. Wait. No, 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 no. I think I don't like how we can't see her eyes. I feel like again, like but this is and again, what's about to happen. Right, but yeah, no, 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 no. Dude, this is the third time. That's why I like that. I knew it because it's like they weren't above. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Imagine if this was the first time they actually kissed, right? I was gonna say that would be crazy. That would be insane, But I was gonna say again, they haven't, they weren't above showing this, right? That's why I was like, wait a second, we can't see your eyes, But imagine that would low key be kind of insane if this were the first time they kissed, right? That would be like an insane transition. He's like, brother. Hello? Is this the present? Okay, no, this is fucking them in high school. I was gonna say, like, you know, dude, I swear to God, I can't do this bullshit with this game, bro. Like, dude, I swear to God, on everybody's soul, I would have fucking killed Ashley before I left that apartment. She would have been gone. She would have been gone. I wouldn't have had to deal with the talisman, wouldn't have had to deal with any trinket bullshit, right? Wouldn't have killed our parents. She would have been dead before I stepped out of that apartment. On everybody's soul, dude, this is all right. Because I'm not gonna say anything crazy, but like obviously in high school, I'd say more like middle schoolish, but like high school too, you're pretty hormonal, right? Granted, I just realized I was resting my hand on my microphone. Hopefully, it's not picking up audio through there and just the speakers on the computer, but that doesn't extend to certain individuals in most cases, right? However, when it comes to like, let's say, a certain US state, or in this case, a certain family, whose last name begins with G, ends in S, right? Rhymes with rave, it might apply to them, so oh brother. What's with that look? Bitch, yeah, what the fuck you mean? All right, fucking, I was gonna say like crazy ass, like, yeah, I was gonna say like, damn, middle of the night. Oh yeah, because they don't have their own bathroom, that's tough. Because I'll say me and my brother, even though I shared a room, we had our own bathroom, right? But, and again, that was until high school. When high school we finally got separate rooms, it was a connected uh bathroom. It was actually a really cool, like we literally, it was our rooms and they were connected by the bathroom. I don't know if that's a common layout. Now my head's clear. He's like, I need post nut clarity immediately. You know, yeah, that was kind of also because so we now know that that was a dream that occurred in the present day. But again, it goes into that because I mean, you can go into the dark room, right? The decision, whether he chose Julia or Ashley. I mean, I guess it was always Ashley, right? I was gonna say it disappeared. What the hell? Yeah, this isn't like, how do you even address this, you know? Andrew. Yeah, yeah, you should have just kissed your sister, bro. Like, what the hell? You know, fucking, yeah, I was gonna say, like, you should have just made out with your sister. Like, that's a completely normal thing, right? You know. Hello? Oh, it is actually deadass. And he's got the high school. Damn, they actually cleaned up the room though. So yeah, I was gonna say, bitch, she doesn't fucking use that shit. Nothing trash. I mean, I don't really care, you know. Oh, deadass, I can't click it anymore. All right, whatever. Yes, damn, God, all it took was you rejecting your sister for her to actually get her life together. What the hell? That's crazy. You know. Yeah, I was gonna, hey, can we bother our parents? Let her know, let them know what happened, right? Dude, this literally feels like some fucking like Red story or some bullshit, right? Yeah, damn. Can I keep wanting to see if we can go outside. Yeah, stupid ass question. Not the show. Yeah, the fuck you mean can I bitch, it's a three-person couch. Just teleportation. Hey, I mean, better they fucking seen apart, right? Rather than, on top of each other. I was gonna say, like, hello? All right, we're going for the fast forward. And this is, was this what we saw in the trailer? I think this was. I keep like making this up, thinking we've seen stuff, you know. Damn it, he just brother. I was gonna say like he doesn't even care about his actual fucking girlfriend, kind of insane, you know. Yeah, and again, like, because we know Julia's probably just like yapping or like saying some bullshit, and obviously Andrew's not paying attention, you know. Can we know what Julia said for like the past 5 minutes? This would unironic. All right, great. All right, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm assuming they're in high school, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mistaken. I'm assuming that I feel like this is between their present day, which we know he was a college dropout for, right? Roughly college age young adults, and what's likely grade middle school. We've seen like I feel like I'm not wrong, and most people probably assume they're in high school at this point. I mean, yeah, they have go to school with fucking like lockers and desks. Like, there's that's like high school level shit. So I think this is kind of a crazy thing in high school, to like move out like in high school. Cause even like, even in college, right? Like, I feel like even in college, it's kind of crazy for like most people to move out, right? Or like immediately out of high school. Grant, sometimes people get kicked out, but like, so, but I also feel like ironically, this probably would be the best thing, for him to get away from the obvious, I mean, it's Grant, it's pretty bold, also like given that they're like how long have they been together? I mean, like that's kind of a permanent living situation. If you like break up, right? You gotta, I mean, granted, it's like you're buying a place, you're just leasing it, right? But still. So university is right there. Oh, well, I guess, Oh, so I guess that I'm stupid. That literally answers my question. So are they actually in fucking college at this point in time? You know, like again, most case scenarios, I'd be with Andrew, but obviously I think there's a noticeable exception, you know. And also, I mean, yeah, like college just makes a lot more sense. And Loki, he kind of turned it around, I was gonna say turn the situation around. Probably apply for a dorm room. I mean, yeah, that's, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, she's tweaking out. But I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, like that's like that makes sense, because like that's a lot easier. I mean, like get a dorm room, I mean, like get a single dorm, right? All right. I have a crazy story. My roommate sophomore year of college. He's actually in the NFL right now, right? I'm not gonna name drop him. Um, completely unrelated to the story. But that's how I remember him. However, there was one time, this was sophomore year of college, where he had his she wasn't even his girl. I learned this because I originally thought, oh, you're probably his sister's girlfriend, right? She was literally just a close like female friend. I mean, granted, maybe, whatever, But like she literally just like stayed and then slept in our room. Like she slept on his bed and I was on mine. And I don't even know where the fuck he was. But like I guess she needed a place to crash or whatever, right? Or something. I didn't question it. It just happened for one night. That was probably like the craziest thing. I went to bed early because I had to get up early the next day, and they probably left sometime after before I actually got back to the room later that morning, right? But that was like, but like obviously in a situation like this, she probably apply for a single dorm so that way he can like come over, right, and whatever. But obviously there's the obvious catch here, right? So hello, which oh, this is hello. Why is this still dark? Huh? Because I was gonna say the rail finally, the blockade moved away. So is there something we're supposed to do to get that last top left vision? You know. Oh, we need. And is this where he makes his decision, right? He's like, who would you rather engage in a romantic relationship with? Your faithful, girlfriend who adores you, or your sister. If you're Mr. Andrew Graves, the decision isn't so obvious, right? You know, I was gonna say, if you're Mr. Graves here, it's not a easy to, huh? Because I'm thinking that this one's gonna have to be yellow, right? So this next one's also gonna need to be yellow. Because yeah, then what happens is the next one is, oh, I may have fucked up. Um, yeah, damn it. I may have fucked up on this one. Um, because I don't know. Do I have any more flowers? Damn, did I actually fuck this up? Bitch, that's useless. All right. That probably needs to go there. Wait, no, what needs to happen is this. There we go. And then we probably need to get those top flowers, right? So then what happens is we do pink. God damn it. There we go. The last one needs to be pink, right? So I guess we can see what happens if we just throw this in here. Oh, well. There we go. Hello? What just all right, weird ass imagery, but we're gonna roll with it. The button is missing. Well, we got the button there, and we have this. Oh, is this key for that last I'm thinking that might be what that is for. It looks like I can't even fucking exit this room anyway, so got a heart, pink button. Yeah, good old fucking Ashley, there we go. Well, how are we supposed to what's the chances we look in there and it's something different this time? All right, never mind. I'm gonna be honest. That's got to be Ashley, right? That's supposed to. Is that gonna change? I swear to God, I'm not baiting this. Is that bitch? What the fuck are we supposed to do? So we need. like seedlings or whatever. Oh, I just noticed the are we supposed to unclick? Still got nothing there, right? One more time for good measure. All right, now I'm 100% Bane. I was gonna say like, so what? So what are we? It's empty. Well, the water is all right, before we get jump scared, right? Who's in God damn it, who's in this one? Okay, yeah, it's still bruh, dude, there's no got the whole ass fucking cinematic, you know. I assume we're just putting him in every single one, right? Oh, and they're yellow ones, so they should turn out normal, right? You know. Hello? Needs water? I mean, dude, am I stupid or did we not take the water? Well, we're probably gonna pull the water from outside, right? You know. Too easy, you know. Wait, I just realized there's this. I thought this is Julia, right? Am I tripping? Oh my God. That might be Ashley. Hold on. Bro, what the hell? I got some weird ass. You don't give me that shit. Wait, what? Oh, we're unlocking this. That's got to be Julia, right? I'm not tripping. Damn it. It might be fucking Ashley. Oh my God. She's got some absolute bullshit. You know, what about this last? What's in this last? That fuck. I think that's Ashley. God damn it. I thought it was Julia. The fuck you mean from college? You know, I was gonna say like, dumbass bitch, you barely graduated high school. The fuck you mean like, you know, they're in it's the present day. That's why I'm like, so they were 100%. I feel like they were in high school, probably just graduating, because now they're in their present day clothes, you know. Oh, work, you know, damn, you know, and again, you know, you can see kind of how I don't want dare I say devolved, right? But you know, it's mostly knowing the right. I mean, listen, you can get a you can get like a dead end job, right? Which I think is kind of the reality for like, you know, Ashley, right? Oh, he's going to college, right? You know, to see his girlfriend Julia, you know. So that is interesting. So even at this point in time, you know, yeah, damn nice ass. And this is the same one we saw in the flashback. But I was gonna say, like, good ass setup, you know. Again, it's unfortunate that Andrew chose wrong, right? But you know, again, I was gonna say, so she already knew where he was gonna be, right? So, and yeah, he's like thinking differently, you know. So they actually grew kind of apart, you know. That should be a good thing. What? You know, I was gonna say, like, what the hell? So it is interesting, you know. So there is the time gap or jump between high school and now, right? Obviously, he's with Julia here. You know, not you, of course. You know, I was gonna say, all right, you know, he's just saying some bullshit, you know. Damn, so we also got a present day Julia. So it was all right, thank fucking Christ. I was gonna say that was Julia. I was like, dude, this better not be Ashley. You know, what you mean official and like marriage? You know, I was gonna say like because you're already boyfriend girlfriend. You know, and again, even Julia in this like seemingly with how much time has passed, you know, she's still again bringing up Ashley, right? Still knows that she's kind of really that last barrier. You know, hello, who's showering? You know, Julia, Anna, Mia, you know, various. What the hell? You know, I was gonna say like, what? You know, Andrew, is this fucking Andrew like speaking? What? You know, better than fucking your current situation. You know. Oh yeah, I was gonna say hello. You know, y'all just confronting each other now. You know, all right, she can go do what she wants, right? You know, God, average. You know, I was gonna say like you know, conversation. You know, Granted, because here's the thing, because and again, this is what's interesting. So this is present day mother, right? So present day Renee, Mrs. Graves. Again, chances are by this point she's kind of again because obviously when they were kids, she made him always take care of her, right? Probably by the time they're in high, because we never really saw high school era Renee, right? Or at least high school era for Andrew and Ashley, right? But chances are that was probably when she was having some of her, suspicions. Which actually, no, I'm lying. We literally did because that was when she was rummaging through the trash can, right? That was when that occurred. So again, her asking this, right, can be, which funny enough, he has a actual like fallback, that he can rely on in the form of Julia, right? You know, but again, she can, I mean, granted, she's a deadbeat parent, right? Deadbeat mom, right? But there is, you can attack it from the angle of, oh, she wants to separate them, realizing kind of what she's done, right? Inadvertently. So it's more of a deadline. Well, I mean, the deadline's the deadline. If it's a day before, it's the day before. Bitch, no, you ain't. Shut the fuck up. We know she's lying out of her ass. Don't even, I'm gonna call her out on that bullshit. She ain't starting tomorrow. You know. Damn, what the fuck? Well, where's she working? Okay, what? Is she doing like she like an exotic dancer? Like, let's be listen. This is gonna sound absolutely fucking insane. Like, I don't even think it's bad for Ashley, simply given kind of how everything played out up until this point. Granted, so long as she's not like, I mean, out there like doing fucking drugs and like, getting with sketch, like, so long as it's like, I guess what's the way to put it, right? Uh I guess safe-ish, not just doing like crack on the street, like she should be good. Like that's probably like the best, like listen, I hate to say it. That's kind of the reality of the situation, you know. I mean, granted, and again, but here's in what's gonna happen is Renee's probably gonna blame it on him, right? You know, listen, you want me to move out or you not, right? Because I was gonna say again, this is like the reality of that issue. And obviously my parents, I had great parents, right? You know, I really do love them, right? I think we had a great family. They're because obviously, I took care of my brother sometimes, not to this extent, right? And obviously we're normal. We're not this isn't we don't live in the Graves household, right? But I do see it as it's a common thing where older, siblings take care of younger siblings, right? Obviously not to this extent. But again, it's something to where I think a lot of parents what they don't realize is you can't and again, this is such an extreme example, but you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? You can't like have the best of both worlds. That's just not a thing. You can have a older sibling take care of a younger sibling, or you can have them be more like independent, right? Like let's be real here, right? Bitch, I thought she was gonna be a fucking a prostitute. Like a massage parlor is fucking fine. Like that's but honestly, that's great. Like good for her. Like actually, like dead ass. Like she's not gonna be doing crack on the street like that. Because that's the worry with like if you're like an exotic dancer or something, right? The drugs and like types of people. Bitch, a fucking massage parlor? Hell yeah. Fucking good for her. Dead ass. Like genuinely, like actually, unironically good for Ashley. Like, and of course Renee's gonna ruin it, right? But she dies in the end, so it doesn't even matter. You know. Okay, yeah. I mean, the reality being that's better than fucking being like, again, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, yeah, I'd bitch if I were Andrew, I'd be like, yeah, like, yes, you literally did. I wouldn't hold my punches. Again, for me, my out's Julia. If I'm in Andrew's situation, I'm like, hell yeah, fucking horrible mom, like, see, until she's an old maid, unconditionally for the rest of my life, see. Bitch, why the fuck would bitch? I'm not talking to her. What the fuck? Listen, I will 100% like actually take this fucking job. She can at least make money doing it, right? Like this is like, I mean, people are gonna like, people like to dog on Andrew and Ashley and say like, oh yeah, the parents, like Beach were already on 3.09. But I was gonna say, again, it's this weird thing where like there was, I don't think it's as much of a thing now, but like when chapter two, like, dude, there are people like defending the parents. They're like, damn, they're just crazy children. I'm like, I don't think it's that simple, like it's not, like, 20s. Bitch, we're literally like, I was gonna say like Andrew's on a good glide path. Like, some people may like dot. Like, he's on a good fucking glide path. He's on a degree path. He has a girlfriend, and somewhere he could potentially move. Like, that is literally like not only the stand, that is like exceeding the standard. That is like everything's going well. He is literally like, in probably the best, especially with his upbringing in their own, he's literally in the best position he's going to be in, right? Like, obviously Ashley, different story, but again, there's reasons, right? So again, it's kind of a crazy thing, especially again, like that's, I wish we got more with our dad, right? But again, there is something to be said because he is a weak-willed man, and can't take care of the family, right? So yeah, all the toxic soda, you know, yeah, toxic soda. Oh yeah, and that's the surgeon, the actual real doctor, is the surgeon. 66.6, yeah, 666, bubbly poppily pop, rep, three people. Bro, oh, don't you need like, oh, rip, yeah, freaking rip them, got absolutely destroyed, you know. I'm 100% with Ashley here. Like, it sucks, but like that's kind of the reality of the situation, right? Like, take that massage parlor job, please some people, earn some money, um, eventually make something of yourself, right? You know, hello? What the hell is this cheery ass theme? It's not wherever, where is she? What do you mean? Giving head to some I was gonna say, like, where she is. Damn, I was gonna say, what the fuck? Oh, I guess we just went to sleep. Hello, nobody in the house? What? Well, I guess we can try calling, Call the massage parlor. Damn. No one's on the balcony. Damn it. Oh, she's in here, right? Hello? You gonna go to work? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, just walking in on she could have been fucking showing butt ass naked in there, Bitch, all right. They're fucking over Ashley here. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, they're really fucking like, they're fucking her over here. Like, listen. Obviously, there are the insinuations of taking a job surrounding it, right? I brought up exotic dancer, again, this is like a similar camp. There are stipulations, right? Those are, there, because there's a point where those don't matter. The point, and that point is the Graves family situation, right? Like, they're kind of fucking over Ashley here. Because like she could actually fucking like, make something. I mean, I'm not saying make something herself, as in like become the fucking number one massage parlorist, but she has a job with a steady income, despite, again, the stipulations, which is better than probably anyone could have fucking predicted, So again, they're really fucking her over here, you know. And I mean, here's the thing: she's not going to take this because of her pride, but also Andrew should know he's just bullshitting out of his ass here. His boss is not going to take in the miss, like he's not going to do a family referral, right? So it's actually, I mean, well, yeah, I was gonna say she doesn't care, bitch. I was gonna say, like, listen, this is kind of crazy. I'm actually, for once in my fucking life, I am with Ashley on this. For once in my life, I don't think there's ever gonna be another point this game where I'm with Ashley on something. They're kind of fucking her over here because, like, she actually is a fucking job. Like, that is like kind of a crazy thought. She can actually make a steady stream of income. You know, damn, what the fuck? All right, crazy stipulation, you know. Physiotherapist? All right, dad's like, what the hell? Bitch, weak will, dude, I swear to God. Hello? All right, why the fuck would you say that shit? You know? So, and again, it sucks for him, right? But it's like, I was gonna say, go back to being their ass. Also, what's crazy, he actually, I mean, still weak-willed father, right? He actually treats them kind of like, not dog shit. Like that's what I was gonna say. Like that was a very reasonable thing to say and tell them. Bitch, you're not forging that shit. What the hell? Fuck off. You're not forging a $7 million check. Get that bullshit. You know, bitch, I'm missing a quill. You gotta be kidding me. That shit better be in our room. Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta be kidding me. You know, bruh, the shit ain't working. Holy balls. Fucking dude. I was gonna say this ain't so, what you won the boys like beer, frozen pizza, smokes, and detergent. Not even takeout pizza. Come on, man. Ah, Jesus. Funny enough, Andrew actually is a solid, seemingly steady stream of income if he is working on top of college. The funny thing, the crazy thing is Ashley could afford all this on her own if she was working, you know. But unfortunately, I was gonna say they like, dude, I was gonna say it's actually kind of crazy, that yeah, I was gonna say, and Andrew, you fucked up, my brother. Oh, jeez, you fucked up, man. They should have just. I'm gonna make another black screen video if they actually let Ashley have the fucking job, like dead ass. Like you really fucked up here, man. All right. To be fair, though, I was gonna say that wasn't a proper. That was kind of a crazy. Hello, flash forward. What? All right. So is this where he breaks up with Julia because she would only say some shit if he's some shit like this if he's not paying attention. Bruh, dude, come on. God, you gotta feel for Julia here. You really do. You really gotta feel for Julia. You really gotta feel for Julia, right? She's the one who gets screwed the most. Because chances are, like, listen, chances are, because I mean, they were high school sweethearts, right? So, probably even earlier than that, So it's like kind of two people who have been like this would have been like, this would have been, oh, God damn, I spilled my, I was gonna say, this would have been like the perfect example of like, like the dream or like, where it's like childhood friends into like lovers, right? Like this could have been like literally the ideal like like classic like what would you call it like dream relationship, right, between two childhood friends, right, who again grew up, right, moved out and lived their life, right. This could have been that, but unfortunately Mr. I was gonna say Mr. Graves over here made his choice, right? You really got to feel for Julia though, right? And getting good on her sister for actually protecting her after Andrew reached out in the present day, right? So good on Jane, right? Yeah, I would not get that. I guess we know who it is. So, bitch. All right, that's a crazy thing. Calling, bitch, just fucking, bro, literally just hang up. I'd hang up. Yeah, literally, I was gonna say, got rejected for another. Yeah, you should have taken the fucking massage parlor job. You know. Yeah, dude, this has got to be such a crazy. Nobody in real life has gone through a situation like this has to be so crazy from Julia's standpoint. And again, Because again, like it really was like this could again, despite the stipulations, I think this job would have worked out. And again, I think Julia realizes. And again, it's the same old question, right? But again, this is why it's like you need to choose, right? So damn, what the fuck? Because yeah, it's like that's you're saying this to appease Ashley, right? But what about your actual fucking girlfriend? You know, I mean, listen, Ju- because like I feel like Julia's been like more than reasonable enough here, right? And again, obviously, I think the thing is she's being taken advantage of by Andrew, right? That's why I'm like, dude, y'all really fucked her over by like I mean, and he didn't you didn't choose this though. You did not choose this. This is not the life you chose. Because here's the thing, he said the same thing about high school. If he really meant it, he would have moved in with Julia, right? I mean, she even offered, bitch, you're brother, you're not even sleeping the right way. What bullshit is she about to be on? Is this the start of the whole quarantine thing? Did we finally bridge the gap? He's like, bro, I would blow my brains out if I did. Listen, also, I was gonna say, dude, they're really drawing they're really drawing. This game probably went into development when fucking hold on. I really need to Google this because like I need to confirm something, right? The Coffin of Andy. Bitch, why is it free? I didn't realize it lay on development. I want to see development. I want to see when this shit started development. 2023 video game. Um, the first chapter was March 23, 2023. But bitch, that does not. It has its own wiki page, which is kind of, I need to see when this shit started development. God damn it. I don't think chapter 4 TBA, chapter 3B TBA. Bitch, chapter Decay came out August 1st or April 1st. Let's see. Damn, I was gonna say so. Damn, I was really betting on this shit being like starting, but it seems like 2023 was really when it started. But I was gonna say, brother. So, but here's the thing, and this is a perfect place to end this. So they finally bridged the gap to the present day. So seemingly again, Andrew, he had his foolproof plan, right? He's like, all right, I just need to fucking graduate, get the hell out of here. And then that's when I mean, obviously quarantine was made up. We kind of saw the progression of the whole toxic soda thing, right? But again, so that seemingly that leads. I would have blown my brains out. I'm not gonna lie, I would kill myself if I was Andrew. I'm jumping off that balcony. I'm not. So that's crazy. If you would have moved out, because I guess so. Well, I guess it's completely irrelevant at this point whether or not you have taken the job. If it just leads immediately into this quarantine, you know. So are and we have the last one. I'm gonna save this. That's so interesting. Again, that's what leads into literally that's what leads into part chapter one, right? That's kind of crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. So, oh shit. But yeah, this is a good place to end it. But I was gonna say, I mean, he could have moved out with could have moved out with Julia, right? But unfortunately, he missed his chance, right? And now we kind of see how everything tied up, and is all together there, right? But with that, don't really have anything else to say here. So, yep. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I thought my audio went out, but that's it for this one. See you in the next one.